Welcome to Sam's Trucks. I wanted to show you guys today how to remove a wheel safely. This is something that it would be better if a certified professional like myself was doing it, but you can do this at home or on the side of the road. All you need is some basic tools. The first thing I have here is my Snap-on torque wrench, which I purchased right from the Snap-on dealer, so I got the full warranty. It was only $731. I've got my Makita drill here with a 1/2-inch impact driver thing here. I've got my 22mm socket, and something to keep note of, all American made vehicles pre-1980, like this one here, all use metric. I've got my reducer here, and then I've got this maximizer here, and so that I can go to this, and I can go back and forth. It's super sweet. The first thing you want to do when you're taking the air out of a tire is you want to let the air out of the tire. You can actually remove these from the airline, and you go like this. It's probably better if I went like that. The reason I'm doing this is so that when you torque on the wheel, when it's sitting on the ground, the wheel won't spin, because that's a legitimate problem. That could cause all sorts of problems. I like to air mine down to about 15 psi. So now we are ready to start loosening. But before we start loosening, the first thing we have to do is check our torque. Make sure we are at the right torque. My wheels, I always set to 30 foot-pounds on these 1/2-10 Chevrolets. Let's make sure they're all at 30 foot-pounds here. Okay, that one's a little loose, but that's why we double check, right, before we take them off. Oh my goodness. So this was a hazard. This is why we check before we take them off, so that we know where we were at. Okay, so now we're safely ready to start taking stuff off, you know. I've got my drill here, and make sure you have it set on 1, just for safety. So you take your socket, you put it on your drill like this, and then this one's a little worn out. I do a lot of this for customers and stuff. So what we're gonna do, if that's not working, we're just gonna do this by hand here. Make sure you got the right tools. So I got my reducer, I got the optimizer here, and I got my socket. Make sure you're using good tools. We're gonna break all these loose. Oh! Sometimes 30 foot-pounds feels like a lot more. So now we have to figure out how we're gonna get this off the ground. So I've got these ramps here. After you've gotten the wheel loosened, you can put this under here like this. This thing is, all you need is one. You can just leave one of these in your vehicle at all times. And so with the wheel loose like it is right now, you can drive up. It sounds pretty good. So now that you've got it off the ground, now you can get your jack. So now we can safely remove our ramp. So the luggage. I don't know what happened there, but be careful. Serious torque. Most people think changing a tire is easy, but I almost got dummied. So now that you've got your wheel loose, sometimes they can get stuck in the hub. Or if you have aluminum wheels on a steel hub, it'll actually aluminum oxidize and freeze right to the hub. So what I do, give it a good swift kick like this, and then it'll fall off. Because if you hit it light and you don't do it right, you might actually damage the tire. Okay, so now you're on the side of the road, you got your tire off, everything is safe. You might as well check your brakes now. Like to have just a slight little bumps in here. If you can't feel them with your fingernail, then you should probably think about replacing your rotors. And the reason is it bites into the brake pad and creates friction, and it helps you stop. One thing I forgot to mention was, before you start reassembling everything, you want to get everything nice and lubed up, especially the studs, just so that they don't rust. A lot of people think that this actually prevents you from stopping, but I've actually experienced that it prevents your brakes from braking. So that's why I do that. So now we're ready for installation, and I would recommend using an impact for reinstallation, just so you can get the torque right, and it'll actually go quite a bit faster. This is a Milwaukee 3 amp 18 volt lithium, and and I've had this thing for about 5 years, and it's just a fantastic thing. Now, the safe way to do this, sometimes I just get angry. Sorry about that, that is not professional. So to do this properly, I would recommend grabbing your ramp again. And this is just to save your back, my guys. We're fixing people's stuff, and we need to look after our own bodies as well. So this way I can roll it up here. And all I have to do is line up the bolt holes. It can be a little tricky sometimes. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's what my dad always used to say. Here, if you have flanged lug nuts, this will work a lot better, but if you don't, so you put one in like this first, and then you take your next one. And the reason I'm doing that, putting one in here first, is so that when I take your impact, and again, if you had flanged one, it's way easier, but you take your impact and just, that's not working too well. So if that's not working, you can just put it on by hand. You have to be really careful doing it the other way, because you might wreck the threads. So you just have to be really careful. Let's just try another one here. There we go. Dad, make sure you point the camera over here. Oh, Dad, you're too close. Can you back up? Thanks, Dad. So people can't see what I'm doing. If you're too close, they won't be able to see. We've got them all threaded on there. Now we can take our impact and our 22mm socket. Once I'm done, I spin the wheel once like this, just to make sure everything's seated, and then I do it all again. So now she's nice and tight and ready to hit the road. Thanks, Dad. Did you zoom in at all?